Forest FM, joining us on the line is Richard Tyler, who's a co-founder of the Willow Tree Foundation. Richard, hello. Many thanks for coming on to Forest FM. This is a cancer-related charity, isn't it?
It is. Hey, nice to meet you, Derek. It is, yes, set up in the wake of I guess my life and our family's life being ripped apart last December.
Yeah, I was hearing about this. You were diagnosed with terminal cancer. I mean, cancer is grave for many people, but yours was terminal, or is terminal.
The cancer I got was is a stage 4 lymphoma. It's a rare cancer called mantle cell. It only affects a few hundred people every year in this country. And I was told that if I had no treatment, I'd have a few months to live. And was offered a wonderful drug to try, but that was going to cost us £40,000. And it was kind of that weighing up moment of spending £40,000 and putting everything we can into endeavouring to save my life, which is what we did. But we didn't have £40,000 sitting in a bank account like many people. So my wife, Kelly, set up a GoFundMe page, which we thought would perhaps get us some contribution to that amount. And within 6 days, we had got our £40,000, which was extraordinary. And the money kept coming in, and we were like, what do we do with the money that keeps coming our way? And, of course, what else do you do after you've just been diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer other than set up a charity? So that's what we did. And we set up the Willow Tree to really stand shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart with those people living with a blood cancer, because we were, through our own lens, living this absolute nightmare ourselves.
Yeah, well, it's very courageous of you to do that, because it is quite disabilitating in a way, isn't it? Cancer, or can affect people in different ways, but I'm guessing you felt a lot of pain. How initially were you diagnosed on this?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one. We're still in September, and we're still in Blood Cancer Awareness Month, and many people don't know the signs of blood cancer. I didn't know the signs of blood cancer. It started last July. I had pains, I had discomfort in my gut, and when I went to the doctors, they said, oh, maybe you've got some kind of urinary tract infection, and they gave me antibiotics, and it helped. And a few weeks later, it was back again, just very unsettled tummy. I then started to get into, I was starting to lose weight. Some people commented on that. I then started having night sweats, and really that got progressively worse. And they referred me to see a urologist, but the urologist said, no, there's nothing really happening here. However, we can see on one of the scans that your lymph node in your groin is on the larger side of healthy. And over the last few years, they tracked back to some other scans I'd had for different issues, and they found that it had grown quite significantly. So only really when they did a whole series of bloods and referred me to hematologist and did then the biopsy of the node did they find the cancer in December.
So they had, the 7th. Yeah. So that's your story. But there was this drug out there which would actually, or could potentially cure you, which is how it all started about to roll in terms of your fundraising to get the money to actually get that drug, I guess. That's right. Have you succeeded in doing that?
Well, we got the drug. The drug's called abinotazumab. It's not available on the NHS. It was going to improve my chances of getting into molecular remission by around 15%, which is pretty significant. So I had 4 rounds of chemo, very intense chemo to manage the aggressive cancer. February the 7th, I got into remission, which apparently is not unusual with lymphoma cancers, to get into remission quite quickly. The problem I have with mantle cell is that it is a type of cancer that tends to come back and is notoriously hard to hold at bay. So once I got into remission, I then needed to have a stem cell transplant, which saw me isolated in a hospital room for a month, and then I had to isolate at home for 3 months. I'm still in remission from my last PET scan, which is good news, and in a couple of weeks I'll go on to a chemo maintenance program, which will be every 8 weeks for 2 years. And along with that, I have to say, because we did make a choice to throw everything at this we could, whilst we wanted to follow the orthodox route, it was also really important to us to follow an integrative route and look at all of the other channels that a lot of people don't know about that can help the body heal from the chemotherapy and the cancer and keep the cancer at bay.
Well, you and your wife, Kelly, have raised an incredible amount of money so far. Your charity is based basically from that fundraising effort that you had initially. You're after more funds. I understand you have an event coming up in 2 days' time, the 24th, at Chelsea Football Ground.
We do, yeah. We had we gave out £20,000 to families in April. And we want to be able to continue to support families through grants and donations, but also through setting up a healing sanctuary that we're going to have built next year in Kingston to, again, help with integrative therapies. And our fundraising event is on at Chelsea Football Ground this weekend. And it's a big charity fundraiser. It's a 70s night. We've got a massive auction happening. We've got raffles. We've got superstar Lionel Vinyl being flown in from across the globe to bring the 70s vibe for us. And that's our big fundraising effort at the moment, really, to refill the pot.
So how do people actually provide funds to you? Is there any direct route?
Yeah, there is. We have, we've got our website, which really points you in every direction, which is, am I allowed to say that?
You can, yeah. Please do.
Okay, the website is thewillowtreefoundation.com. And from there, under the resources link, you can go straight to the auction site. We've got a ton of just incredible money can't buy auction lots, and including Ferndown Championship Golf Course, I have to say, which is proving popular so far. So people can bid on lots if they want to. They can also book tickets to come to the party if they fancy coming along. And there's also a direct link through to the GoFundMe page if people would like to make any form of donation.
Well, I wish you very much the success with that, and continued success in your battle against cancer. I know cancer touches many people. It's touched part of my family. I know it's difficult to get treatment sometimes. You can get life-changing treatments, and yours seems to be aiding you at least for the time being, which is fantastic news. Anything you'd like to add before we sort of just part company this morning or today?
No, I think what you've said is really poignant. That I was the person that would watch Stand Up to Cancer, and I'd watch Stand Up to Cancer Bake Off, and I'd see 1 in 4 people affected, and then I see 1 in 3 people affected, and I know that we're now looking at 1 in 2 people in some way in our lives will have some form of cancer, and I was always the person that said, it's not me, that's not me, that's what happens to other people. And lo and behold, I say our life was really ripped apart when we got the diagnosis. And my encouragement really is for people to just to check on themselves, and if they are unsure about any health symptoms that appear to be new and don't have a direct answer, actually to get along to their GP and get it checked out. It's really important, and especially with blood cancers, they're often detected quite late. And the sooner we get to them, the more chance there is of people having a successful intervention. So I'd say that. And I'd also say, if anyone feels in a position to donate anything so that we can channel these funds directly through to families who are just to make this nightmare that they live through that little bit easier, then we have huge gratitude for that.
Well, Richard Tyler, many thanks indeed, co-founder of the Willow Tree Foundation, along with your wife, Kelly, who I guess is behind the scenes a little bit today, but at the forefront of everything that you do too.
Always, yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks so much indeed for talking to us. Thank you. Take care,
Thanks,
Richard,
Derek.
and all the best.
Yeah, you too. Bye.